Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update. My name is Rebecca.meisl. Welcome. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so excited to give you guys the updates and the energetic pulse for the week ahead, and to dive into any sort of channeled messages that my guides want to bring forward for you and make us aware of as we go through another week. So this week we have some really beautiful themes, mainly surrounding love, mainly surrounding our hearts, as well as this big overarching theme of romance, connection, and friendships, and also that big, huge relationship, the most important one in our lives, the relationship we have with ourselves. So really excited to dive into what's been coming forward as I've been channeling this evening. So our first theme of the week is this cultivation of joy and abundance. So this is really following through from last week's themes, helping us really make abundance and joy a part of our daily routine. So what I was really hearing with this theme here was this amazing awareness coming in this week where we're making it a daily practice, where we are daily trying to see through the eyes of abundance and really create these new neural pathways in our brain to choose joy over fear and lack. So we had a big theme of encouragement towards taking action. And so what I was really getting was kind of this happy, spontaneous energy, but also this energy of very strong, powerful, decisive energy. So with that, I was really getting brain power. So we have to make the conscious effort this week to continue to take on this abundance mindset. So this is very important. They were saying we need to take action and we need to be very mindful and selective in our thoughts and these actions that are based from these thoughts of lack, and shifting the stories. So this week we might get awareness of those stories. Like, what are the stories that I have that are keeping me from living a life that's truly fulfilling, that's keeping me from being abundant? Okay, so this might look like money fear coming in. This might look like lack in our relationships, where we're not feeling enough, where we are feeling lacking within our own health or our own bodies. However this comes forward for you this week, just be mindful. Where do we need to see through these eyes of love? Where do we need to see the inner beauty of ourselves, what we do have, what we can do to cultivate this mindset of I am enough? Okay, this is such a strong theme this week. I am enough. I am worthy of abundance. And to really course correct these stories when they come in, and having the very strong awareness of this. Okay, so what just popped in now was with health. Okay, so interesting, we talked a bit about lack within our bodies. Okay, so this might be a theme here. So this just kind of popped in now. So really be mindful, like, where am I with my health? Am I where I want to be? Where am I looking at my body and judging it, or not giving it enough? Okay, where are we not satisfied with our appearance? Okay, these are little sneaky things that can come in that really are based in lack, that are unloving for us moving forward. So this week we have this huge theme of love. So with that, we need to be aware, where are we being unloved in our lives? And where do we need to shift the narrative? Okay, so be very mindful. And what's really interesting is this very dominant theme of health. So be mindful, is my body trying to tell me something? Is my body really having issues in certain areas? And are those areas perhaps coinciding with the areas we are not giving love to? Okay, interesting food for thought. They're also really bringing in the practice of mirror work. So that might be something to try this week if you are struggling with self-love and loving your body and body image. They're really showing me do some mirror work this week. So if you're unfamiliar with mirror work, I actually just did a huge post all about it on my social media. So please check it out if you'd like to learn more about how to do that technique. But moving from that theme, we have a gorgeous theme of romance and sparks, which is so cute considering we have Valentine's Day coming up. So whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, we're getting this big theme of romance. So what channeled was romance and sparks, romance and sparks fly as you lean into the soul, revealing parts of the self that have laid buried to let them shine, revealing your true heart. Okay, this was really beautiful because what I'm really seeing is this unfurling that's happening, this grand reveal. You know, a lot of us have been doing so much inner work. We've been doing so much to help really live a love-based life. And now it's time to reap some of those benefits. So what I'm hearing is a lot of us are going to start opening up. Okay. Now, of course, when we open up, we let things out. So there might be some purging this week, and we're going to get into that. But what I'm really getting here is it's going to be this beautiful allowance of letting other people come in and really welcoming beautiful connections into our lives that actually serve us. And we're being vulnerable. We're allowing ourselves to reveal these parts of self that perhaps we thought would be judged, or parts of ourselves that we hid. And it's this beautiful release that frees us this week. So what I'm seeing is this beautiful heart opening, the throat chakra opening, because we're being authentic. And what's really interesting is I'm seeing some of these connections are not new. It's people perhaps we've lived with, it's people we're best friends with, but are there parts of us that we have kept to ourselves? So this week we are removing that veil. We're removing any need to hide who we are in our entirety. And it's this beautiful welcoming of this other connection into our lives. So really think about that this week as we celebrate Valentine's Day, or we celebrate love itself and those loving connections. Are there any hesitations? Are there things that we are hiding about ourselves, or we don't feel comfortable revealing to our partners, to our friends, to our family? Are there things that you still feel too vulnerable about? And to really go into that, is there something that I do want to actually share so I can feel more seen, so I can feel more heard? So I'm really hearing it's important this week to dive into how willing we are to really share ourselves, not only in our connections and relationships, but in the world. So with this beautiful Aquarian energy that we've been in, there's been this beautiful emphasis on really revealing the truth of who we are, and now having the courage to share who we are. So this is rapidly increasing the romance in our lives, is rapidly increasing the intimacy within our relationships, because if we don't feel seen, if we don't feel heard, if we don't feel safe to be vulnerable with others, that is really shortcutting that relationship, because we're not able to really experience the fullness of what that relationship could really be. So I'm really hearing push through those fears this week. Be mindful of where you're getting triggered in those relationships and where healing might be needed. So I'm also seeing some of us go through this release work with the heart chakra this week, and we might need support in that. We might need to be honest about what we're going through. So they're giving me the example of someone running to the bathroom to cry and close the door, right? Do we do that? Do we shut people out when we need to be vulnerable? Right? Where are we hiding our tears? Where are we hiding the hurt or the things that we're going through from people who do love us and want to support us. So I'm seeing this beautiful connection that starts really blossoming this week as we really get vulnerable and as we allow ourselves to open up our hearts and reveal what's inside. So absolutely stunning. So sparks are flying this week as we lean into the soul. So with that, are you having soulful conversations? Are you having heartfelt conversations? Where are things surface level in your life? Where are you being called to go deep this week? Okay? And have the courage to reveal those parts of yourself. You are safe to do so. So I'm really hearing reveal your true heart. Okay? Now this is what channeled. Get imaginative. What could life be with an open heart? What could life be like with an open heart? What room and space would then be available? What would you like to fill your heart with? Okay, this was so cool. So they're really bringing in this awareness of contemplation this week. Like really go into that, meditate on this. What would it feel like to experience your life with your heart being fully open, with this beautiful balance of giving and receiving happening? What would that feel like? How would that change your everyday life? How would that change your relationships if you had a fully open heart? Okay, so let's talk about the heart chakra a little bit. I need to clarify this. So the heart chakra governs love, okay? It's all about how we are receiving love and giving love and experiencing love in our lives. And if we're not, okay? So with the heart, it has to really do with this giving and receiving energy. So where we are constantly giving or where we are receiving, and this is where disbalance and disharmony can happen in the heart chakra, is when we are over giving or we are over receiving. So that's one area. The other area that I really find comes up prevalently with the heart chakra is low self-worth and distrust. Okay, so when we don't believe in ourselves, when we're not loving who we are and loving ourselves in whatever way that looks like, that causes deep hurt in the heart chakra. Now, going from the hurt, grief, right? Loss. What have we lost in our lives? Where is there grief that we're harboring, right? Those are things that can block the heart chakra and that ability to be free and open, okay? So with that, we have to be very mindful. You know, look at the heart chakra this week. Look at what it governs and really think about that. Is there any of these things that resonate that I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, okay, that sounds like me. Or, oh, yeah, I still got things there that are making me not trust people or not letting me let others in fully. Okay. Or, oh, wow, there's some low self-worth, or, oh, wow, I'm totally spent because I'm over giving, right? So where do we need to find this harmonization in the heart and be mindful of what this comes up as? Okay. So when we think about that, if we've cleared all these things, and we're going to be doing that, this is like heart chakra time this past few weeks. So what would it be like to reach the end of that, where we've cleared all of those things from our hearts and now it's open, right? So now we're trusting. Now we are receiving love in our lives in balanced harmony. We're not over giving, we're not over expending ourselves. We are receiving love now. Okay, we're also making space in the sense of trust, right? Okay, now I'm trusting that life is going to support me, that life gives to me, that the people in my life are here to stay. And this helps when we remove the grief, when we clear the grief out of the heart. It makes so much space for welcoming in what's next, right? It helps us heal, move forward, start a new beginning. So think about that. What if my heart was all of those things? What if it was willing to receive all the goodness there could be in this life? What would that feel like, right? What if we removed the judgment, right? Where could we be if we fully loved ourselves in our completeness? So what was really coming through was, what space would there be if we cleared the heart of all these things? And then what would you like to fill your heart with now, right? So we really need to be mindful. What am I putting into my heart? And what shifts need to happen? So what came through was heart chakra release. Okay, now they were showing me the water basin and it being emptied out. So we are going to be going through purging this week. We're going to be emptying out past hurts. Okay, we're going to be emptying out perhaps grief. We're going to be emptying out the trust, right? All those things that I talked about with the heart chakra. Those are the things that are going to really be big themes, okay? So be mindful of what resonates for you. But this is what's going to be happening, is release from the heart. Now, what came next was very interesting. Past hurts do not define you. Where have you been giving your power away? Release painful stories and illusions as they are not true. A shift in perspective is happening. Seeing that you have been perfect all along. Okay, this is so tremendous, and this is actually really, really huge. Okay, this is huge healing that we're doing when it comes to the heart chakra. So they were giving me this example of past hurts and how that can define us. So when we've experienced pain or hurt, or someone tells us something about ourselves that was painful, and it doesn't have to be true, but we took it as true, right? So I'll give you an example of this. Someone said, okay, you're overweight. Okay, maybe we had no idea. Maybe we were young and someone told us, well, you are overweight. And then all of a sudden it gave us this awareness, oh my gosh, I'm overweight. That's wrong. There's something wrong with me, right? Or someone said, oh, you have a big nose. Now that thought just got planted in your head, and that became a belief that stuck with you for years and years and years. So perhaps you're an adult now and you still remember that one person who said you had a big nose, that one person who said you were overweight, okay? And that stuck with you, and perhaps this whole time you've been feeding that story and you've had that insecurity because someone told you that that was the truth. But the fact of the matter is just because someone else told you that story doesn't make it true, right? It doesn't make it your truth. And this is the difference. These are the stories that we're going to be exposing this week, is these lies that we have adopted as our own truths that need to be exposed. So this is a lie we've believed. This is an illusion, and it is hurting us. It is painful for us. It has held us back, right? It has damaged our hearts. These stories have been painful, and we've let these hurts and these stories define us, right? So how often have we adopted those stories as our own and gone, yeah, that's me. I have a big nose. But then someone could come along and go, no, you don't. But does that change the story? A lot of times we don't listen to that other person that says, no, you don't, right? So this is where we need to become aware. So this week we are getting awareness around these stories that have only served to hurt us. And we're making space. We're clearing out these hurts. And we're realizing, oh my gosh, I've believed this about myself my entire life. And I'm just now realizing it's not true. I'm amazing. I look amazing. I love myself, right? And it's like this complete flip of the script that's happening. Now, of course, this is going to require some adjustment, right? But this is very empowering because we're now taking our power back from those individuals who planted those ideas and those stories and beliefs into our heads. And even if it was yourself, you're taking that power back. You're owning it. You're going, okay, well, I don't want to believe this anymore. It doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't align with me. It's not true. So we're exposing the truth and we're taking our power back by doing so. Okay? Now, have awareness. Where have I given my power to other people to define who I am? This is so powerful and so deep, and we need to meditate on this week. Where have I allowed other people to define who I am? Have I let society define who I am? Okay? This is so fascinating, right? So where have we let society tell us what's best for us? Where have we let our families, our significant others, whoever it might be, tell us what is best for us? And where have we given them that power to go, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to do that way. I'm going to live my life according to the way you tell me to. Or yeah, okay, for your love and acceptance, I'm going to do that. Where do we need to pull back and go, oh no, I know what is best for me. I am the only one who actually knows what is best for me. And honoring that this week is so empowering. We're taking our power back. We're truly stepping into our greatness and control and responsibility over our lives. And we're removing anything that is dictating who we are. And we're learning how to define ourselves and our own narratives for life. It's absolutely incredible. So where have you given your power away? And where do we need to release these painful stories and illusions that are not true? Okay. Now this is opening our eyes because we're seeing, oh my gosh, I've actually been marvelous this whole time. I have been wonderful this whole time. I have been perfectly me this whole time. So this is what channeled, seeing you have been perfect all along. Seeing your beauty for the first time through the eyes of your heart. The past will now be the past. It is no longer a part of your story. Let there be love. Like, how amazing is this? Like, take a moment to let that sink in. Imagine seeing yourself so lovingly. Imagine looking in the mirror and loving who you see. Like, imagine that. Can you actually imagine loving every part of your body, every part of your face, every part that makes you you, without any shame, without any judgment or the judgments of others influencing that? Right? This is the gift that we are being given this week, is this beautiful vulnerability and the courage we are developing by stepping into that and going, this is me. This is all of who I am, and I'm so done shaming myself and hiding myself away. I'm ready to be proud of who I am. I'm ready to showcase who I am. Because I'm finally proud of myself. I'm finally seeing the value of my heart and my love. And that is what matters. Right? So see your beauty. For the first time, perhaps for some of us, this is going to be the first time we actually see ourselves and see how beautiful we are. It's absolutely amazing. So from there, we're healing a lot of wounds. We're healing some inner hurts. We're healing that heart. But what's so amazing is we're also healing this relationship we have when it comes to community. So what was coming through was healing wounds around community and where we've been holding back from connections that are good for us. It's time to be free. Okay? So we're choosing now associates very wisely. Okay? This is what was really coming through. So we're healing these wounds, but we're being very selective in who we share ourselves with. But also coming to this awareness that the people we do know and intuitively feel are safe, we're choosing to share that, right? So we have to come to this awareness of where we've been holding back, right? So just like that earlier theme here where we need to be vulnerable, we need to reveal ourselves. This is where we're going to also see this shift in community. Right? So where have we been holding back from connections that are good for us? And where do we need to be free? So yes, choose your associates wisely, but open up to the ones who are there for you. So what came through was who truly deserves you now? Who deserves your time and your attention? Boundaries need to be considered. So when we look at community and we look at our involvement with others and connections in our lives, we have to have a balance. So yes, we want to reveal ourselves. Yes, we want to showcase who we are, and we want to be unapologetic about it. We want to be able to feel pride in who we are. But yet always have that awareness if there's people that are draining, right? Are there people who do drain your heart energy? You know, a lot of times we might notice that when we associate with certain people, whether they're conscious of it or not, they might actually be draining your life force energy, your heart chakra energy, or your solar plexus energy, are the most common spaces that we will notice an energy expenditure and drainage when around certain individuals. So be mindful of that. This week we're getting this awareness of how we're interacting with everybody. So as we start selecting those few that are absolutely for us, that are supportive and wonderful connections for us, and we're opening up to them, we also want to be diligent when it comes to others that aren't so good for us. So where do we need set boundaries? And where do we need to really be conscious of who is deserving of my big, beautiful heart? Right? Because you have a big, beautiful heart. You are wonderful. You are fantastic. So who gets to have the gift of you in their lives? Right? And to what extent? These are also things we got to consider this week. So this was super cool. What channel next? Write a list of what rises from the heart. So listen to what's coming up in the heart space. What does it need? How do you need to be loved? And go within. The answers lie and wait. So this was really interesting because they were bringing in the love languages here as well. So we need to once more assess, okay? What is my heart space telling me, right? So a lot of times we go to our gut, right? A lot of us go to our gut for intuition. But this week we're being called to go to our heart. Okay, what's in the heart? What is rising? What wisdom does your heart have to tell you? Okay, so when you're around people, what is your heart saying? Do I feel open with this person? Do I want to feel open with this person? Or do I not? Okay, so we might actually have to go into a bit of an assessment and test certain connections this week with our authenticity, with this test of our heart. So what was really interesting is we might actually have plans with different people, and you might actually want to try this. When you're sitting with an individual, when you're with someone, how do you really feel? Because over time, when we have relationships that perhaps we've had for years, we tend to just dismiss things because of our history. Or, we want to be liked when we meet someone new, or whatever that story is. Whoever's in front of you this week, whoever comes through to you this week, and the universe might be very intentional with this, okay? So be mindful what connections come through this week for you. And really listen to that heart. How does your heart feel when you are with these people? Is it feeling good? Or is it feeling suppressed? Okay? Now, some of this might come through as our own trauma that needs healing. So have awareness there. But have this awareness when it comes to what you need now. Because it's changed. For a lot of us, what we need has changed because we're actually acknowledging what we need. Okay? So this is where we need to test our relationships in a sense and see what is serving us now and be honest about how we need it, how we need to receive love. Okay, so look into the 5 love languages and really distinguish, how do you receive love? How do the people in your life receive love as well? And how do we need to vocalize what we need? Okay, it's very important that we feed and nurture our heart with love every single day. So take this a step further and even go into that with your own relationship, right? So if you're receiving through words of affirmations, are you saying loving words of affirmations to yourself every day, right? So it always starts with us. So go within. The answers lie in wait. So go within the heart this week, okay? Do some meditating. How is it that I need to receive love? How is it that I want to show up and give love to others? And where do my relationships really lie as they are now? So inner discovery and enlightenment to your truth. Okay, I love this next theme. This is so cool. So what channeled was this beautiful light worker. They were showing me this beautiful light worker wrapped in white light. And it was so profound and so very beautiful. So what channeled was, you are a light worker. That's all you ever have needed to be. Stop, slow down, just be. Showcase and shine your light to the world. Know that it is enough. It has always been enough. When you cascade yourself in your own light, you heal decades of trauma. You heal your family lineage. You heal the inner child within. Now, this was incredible, okay? Because a lot of us might start coming to this awareness of life purpose, okay? As we step into Aquarian energy, it is very illuminating to the truth of ourselves, where we need to be stepping up, where we need to be honest. So what was really coming through is we were discovering this week. And for a lot of us, we're discovering we are here to simply share our light. And that was what was so powerful about this theme here, was just by being you, just by being and radiating your light, you are fulfilling your purpose. Okay? This is a truth that has come through many times in past life regressions that I've done for clients. And it is so amazing to see, okay, how some of these individuals literally were sent just to be here. That's it. No specific thing that they needed to accomplish, but just be here because their vibration was so high that it elevated the entire world around them. All they had to do was be. Just be themselves. Be love, because that's who they are. And that's exactly what was coming through here. It is enough. A lot of times we tie our purpose to things. We might really get wrapped up in our life purpose. What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be doing? Right? We get worried about these things. And this is what was so beautiful. We literally got stop. Just be. It is enough. And it has always been enough. Okay? And realize by you just acknowledging your light, by you stepping into your power, into who you really are, you are healing decades of trauma. You are healing your lineage. You are healing karmic past lives where you were never able to be the full expression of yourself. Think of how powerful that is. Just by you being you are healing all of it. Now, what was so touching was the inner child. They were showing how this was healing the inner child, okay? So listen to this, okay? What does that inner child wish to say? Where has it been turned away? Where has it hidden its light? Where has it been masked and alone, frightened and afraid? Heal the rejection wound. You have always been enough, and we have always seen it. Now it is time for you to see it too. So this was absolutely incredible, because as we start recognizing that we can just be who we are and how that heals so very much, the inner child really transforms. And that's the word that I'm really hearing, is transformation, because it's allowing us to see where that beautiful, innocent part of ourselves has been rejected in the past. So we might have this inner child healing that we experience this week, because the inner child needs to be seen now. The inner child needs to be heard now. So we have to allow ourselves the time and attention to really listen. So where have you been rejected in your life? Where have you been turned away? Where have you not been enough? Okay? Where have you needed to hide that inner child? Hide the vulnerable parts of you. Okay? Where have you been afraid to reveal who you truly, deeply are? Okay? So with this, these shadows are being exposed and revealed for healing. And this is really going to really focus around that inner child work and around this specific wound of rejection this week. So as we learn how to showcase ourselves and be ourselves, this is the healing that's happened. We're healing this rejection. We're healing the need to hide ourselves. And we're seeing that we've always been enough. And what's so beautiful is this acknowledgement. The universe is acknowledging you are enough. You always have been. And it's now time for you to see it. Okay? So from there, we have this beautiful theme of self-care. Okay? So diving into self-care, learning the inner self and how you tick. Okay? Identifying your needs and where things need to change. So this was super interesting. So for a lot of us, once again, we're getting this introspective time. How do I need to care for myself? Right? A lot of us, once more, we haven't learned that. Oh, what are my specific needs? I see what everyone else does. I see what's promoted. I see what others think is self-care, and maybe that's what I should do. But no. This week, it's not about what everyone else is doing. It's about what you're doing. What do you need to do for you? What makes you feel full? What makes your love cup fill to the brim? Okay? This is what we got to learn. What gives me joy? What makes me feel at peace? What makes me feel really regenerative? Okay? How do I need to regenerate myself? Okay? So learning how you tick, learning your specific, unique ways of receiving, So we need to identify this week, and also a step further, identify where we need to shift things around. So what was actually coming through was, once again, what's most loving for us? Okay, where have we been taking actions or doing daily things that are actually the opposite of that? Now, another theme here this week is we might see is in our finances. Okay, where do we need to feel safe? Because that's what's loving for us, to feel safe in our lives, to feel held in our lives. So where are we once again on the treadmill because of money, or because of work, or because of these societal stories? Okay, this is another thing that was really coming in as well, is where we need to heal wounds within our finances, within our views of money, and where we're actually prioritizing money over ourselves. Some of us need a wake-up call. This is what I heard. You need a wake-up call. Where are your priorities? What has your health been like? What has your mental and emotional health been like? Okay, this is really, really important. Also looking at our finances in the sense of, are we meeting those needs materially? And if not, has that been putting us in a space of fear? So let go. This was really, really huge. Let go. Let go of regret. Let go of any shame when it comes to your finances, and let go of control. So once more, some of us might want to control everything right now, especially because we're hearing all the stories. Everything's so bad right now. You got to save your pennies. You got to be work. Why aren't you taking on another job? We've got all these stories that we're bombarded with. But once more, go into your heart, go into your intuition, and decipher what's true for you. So adjust accordingly, right? Are there actions I need to take to ensure my well-being? Does that look like, really ensuring I have finances and I do feel safe and secure in that? Or does that mean I'm overly obsessed with that and I'm overly controlling and dictating everything to the point where I'm so in that mode that I'm not taking care of myself and my other needs? Okay, where is disharmony happening within this realm of the 3D? And really get your priorities straight, right? Health has got to be one of the biggest ones that keeps coming up this week. Health. If you don't have your health, what do you have? And this actually came through last week a bit in terms of how we view and see abundance in our lives. So this week we got to take stock of that too. Our abundance is very much tied to our health and well-being. So be mindful of that. So this is your time to rise and expose any shadows to light. Okay? So you may breathe free. This is so beautiful. Direction is coming. Trust. So this week we're going to have shadows rise. We're going to have shadows be exposed to the light. And it's to let it go. That's what's so beautiful, was this relief that was coming through. The lungs expanding, breathing freely. And the heart chakra governs the lungs. Isn't that interesting? So where are we feeling too heavy and burdened in our lung capacity? Where are we not free to take a full deep breath in our lives? What is it that stresses us out, that makes us feel anxious and heavy? Those are the things that are going to surface this week for release. So we got to shed the weight. We got to shed whatever it is that's suppressing our hearts so we can breathe free. So release doubts around if you can do it. You can and you will. Anything is possible when you believe. You will cross this threshold. So much reassurance from the universe this week, and it's got our backs. So what came through was initiation. Where are you being called to serve? The heavens are calling. We need your light. We need your grace, your beauty, your compassion and love. And we need it here on earth. This is what you came for. What a beautiful final message to end our reading. This is what you came for. To be love. To be you. And you're so needed here, my friends. So really listen to that call this week. Where are you being called to be more of you? Where are you being called to value you? Where are you being called to share your beauty with this world? Because that is why you're here. This is why you've chosen to be this beautiful light worker that you are. So work your light. Share it. Don't dim yourself down anymore. You're so needed here. So I just want to thank each and every single one of you as I have this opportunity for any way that you are sharing yourself, for any way that you are sharing your light. I really think more of us need to hear that. Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you for fighting all the unseen battles that you have fought. Thank you for learning how to love yourself, for learning how to love others in this world to the best of your ability and sharing your light and love. Because it all matters and it makes such a big impact, more than you could ever know. So please don't give up. Please keep fighting this fine fight and allow this love that you are so deserving of to come right back to you. So with that, please know that that is what I'm sending you now. Please know that is what your angels and your guides and your ancestors are sending you now. So please feel it, accept it, take it, because this is so what you deserve. So my friends, wishing you a beautiful, love-filled week ahead. Take care.